Doc, I've always wondered about relapse. You know, I fear it. You know, what if they relapse? You know, is it all over? You know, is it Katie bar the door? You know, I've heard people say, well, 80% of all addicts relapse. Well, that scares me. I mean, only 20% are going to be successful out there. And then yet I've heard about lapse. And so relapse, lapse. Well, what's the difference between lapse and relapse? But just this whole relapse and lapse idea.
Well, first of all, let's just say if you discovered you were diabetic and you were going to treat the disease diabetes, would you think, gosh, if I can't have a perfect blood sugar from this day forward, there's no point in even treating the disease. You know, if you have diabetes, your blood sugars are going to go out of whack a little bit from time to time, even with the best control. Now, some people will kind of get it right all the way along and they don't have any big problems. But alcoholism and drug addiction or diseases, that relapse can be a part of the recovery process. It doesn't mean that you're going to stay in relapse necessarily. It can, but oftentimes a person who's had a good foundation in recovery, like we're going to offer them with this program, or if they've been to a really good treatment center and then maybe they do this program, if you've got a good foundation, if you relapse, you may be using or drinking again, but it's not really making you happy. You know too much, and it's a real stinky situation for you. You know you've painted yourself in a corner. So oftentimes a person who's had a good foundation like this, and a relapse, by the way, is when you use or drink a little bit longer. A lapse might be one night something bad happened, you got fired from your job, or your girlfriend broke up with you or something, and you just drank, or you used drugs that night, and you wake up the next morning, you go, that was really not smart. And you go talk to somebody. It's a good thing to go just tell somebody right then. And a lot of times you can dust yourself off and go, okay, I can see how I did exactly what I used to do, but I'm not going past today or the weekend if it's a couple of days, but that's a lapse. A relapse lasts days or weeks or even months. So there's that distinction between those two terms. But either way, if someone watching this has had either situation happen, and since relapse is so common, Begin Recovery is really a perfect vehicle to get back with us with the online program and just get your foundation laid again. Almost like a little tornado came through and you've got your foundation, you're going to put your bricks and sticks back up and get your house built again. And it's a great way to get back into recovery, a lot of times without even having to check into a treatment center. Since you already know a lot of the fundamentals. If you need to be detoxed, if it's been a long relapse, maybe you have to go see your doc and get detoxed. But that's one of the beauties of this online program, is it's really perfect for people who have had one of these lapse or relapse type situations.
Well, you know, I know as a believer in Jesus Christ, when you sin, you know, you don't say, well, I sinned and I've blown it, so might as well just sin a ton.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, just might as well just, you know, just, no, when you sin, you confess it, you deal with it. Sometimes you confess your sin one to another so that you can, you know, move on, so you don't let sin be a habitual sin in your life, so it won't dominate your life. Well, likewise, that's the same principle here, is when you do have a lapse or a relapse, you recognize it, you correct it, you get your support system, your belief system back on track, and press on and get stronger and stronger. And
it's easy to do with a program like this, like we've talked about, because it's right there on your iPad or laptop, or you can start immediately. You don't have to go wait for an appointment and check in somewhere and go through. If you want to start here and see if you can get back on track right here, it's a click away. You can get started.
Something that you can have on your, you know, access that you'll have all the time.
Yeah, and you can relook if you want to, and really let this stuff saturate so you can understand these principles.
Thank you, Doc.